Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a slightly recorded at a special time, so uploaded slightly late perhaps, episode of Lions of the Republic. We apologize in advance. We're both very sleepy. There's a lot to catch up on, though. So, in today's episode, we're going to be taking a look at all of the latest stuff from the New Japan Burning Spirit tour and the events that happened featuring the Ospreay versus David Finlay title match. We've got the Royal Quest events, upcoming New Japan tours, and the appearance of New Japan legend and general wrestling legend, the Great Muta on AEW, plus a ton of Impact Wrestling stuff going on. So, let's get into stuff that's actually directly related to New Japan, starting with the events of this past Monday, Monday the 25th of September.
Burning Spirit in Kobe, finally, an end to the Burning Spirit tour. Since
Feels like
most
it's
of it
gone
was,
on forever.
yeah, I feel like it's been like, yeah, I feel like it like took up like half of the 50th year anniversary, for sure. So most of it was house show, so that's why after the G1 we were not that busy, so we did like Faction Focus and all that stuff. But finally, a busy week in New Japan, so we can ramble about things that happened in recent months or weeks. Yes. Okay, huh? So I am checking. I just came home. I am very sleepy. We both are, so sorry for not our usual selves today. But yes. But Burning Spear in Kobe. What a show though. What a show they put on.
Yeah, great show.
Great show.
Uh, Obviously, kind of various bits and pieces happened. We don't necessarily need to get into all the details of all the undercard tags and things like that. But the kind of three big things that happened were Hikuleo turning on Bullet Club to rejoin God. So now we have a situation where it's Tanahashi, Tama Tonga, and Hikuleo against Bullet Club.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a ton of fun. Seeing Jay White get spiked with the gun stun made it worth the fact that Carl Anderson beat Tanahashi. I did not like that match much. Um, Also, please tell me that I hallucinated the King of Pro Wrestling stipulation as a Who's Your Daddy match, although I don't think I did hallucinate that.
I'm excited for that for some reason. I think I might be the only one in the universe that might be excited for that. It's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Might
just
be
looking forward to
biased.
Shingo taking ELP's head off.
Might be biased since I am since I paid for his dinner, but ELP, he's become his daddy. Oh yeah, during the past week or so after Burning Spear, I've been thinking of like sign ideas. And then
Mhm.
but when I was in Osaka for G1, I think I saw someone that says like ELP on the side, and then it said extremely lame pooper, and then the ELP was like, look at that. So I'm like trying to find like things that match with ELP that goes with daddy. So I think this morning I found I think I saw extremely lovable parent. I think that was one of them that I sunk of. But yes, that happened in the
Okay.
first show of first match of the card for Burning Spirit. Yes,
Yeah.
for ELP. Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
So it was kind of quite a Bullet Club heavy night, obviously, with ELP declaring that he is Shingo's daddy, with Jay White getting his head spiked into the mat by Tamato. Sorry, it was really satisfying to watch. It felt really good. The fact that the Bullet Club are probably going to go over at Royal Quest because Bullet Club is popular in the United Kingdom,
Yeah.
um, or since they've booked it twice, means that one side, Team Tanner, can go over on the other side, on the other night, Bullet Club can go over.
Yeah.
Um, the other thing I think worth talking about is the main event. I'm sorry to anyone who is a fan of John Moxley, he's having an amazing year. I'm sorry to anyone who is a fan of Roman Reigns, he's having an amazing year. But for my money, Will Ospreay is the men's wrestling wrestler of the year. What a match!
What a
What
match.
a match! Like,
Yeah.
also shout out to David Finlay. He absolutely held up his side of the match as well. It was it takes two to tango. That acid drop onto the tables where the tables didn't break, I physically like flinched. Um, it was so nice seeing David Finlay kind of lean into that slightly willingness to fight dirty, channeling the spirit of his father, Fit Finlay. A beautiful match, lots of storytelling, absolute brutality. My one flaw with it, people, stop kicking. If everyone could please stop kicking out of the hidden blade, please. It's a
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. You can tell, like, sorry.
Mhm.
Oh God. That motorcycle just that motorcycle outside the window. So you can hear my voice getting a bit better because the whole reason why my voice is not feeling well today and for the past week or so, it's because I was busy yelling at Hikuleo, betraying Bullet Club, and also this match with Ospreay and David Finlay, cause
Mm.
because again that table spot with the acid drop was amazing, and we'll talk about after the match later, but still, what an amazing match, and also I think that they read the audience's mind of the Japanese fans cheering their souls out on saying we want tables because what a tables match it had. In one of the spots, Will Ospreay threw a table at David Finlay's face because the day before they had a press conference at Kobe Samba Hall where David Finlay threw a chair at Will Ospreay's face, where you can hear me
That was
say,
so funny.
Will, 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 watch out, Finlay's got a chair. I was gonna scream, Finlay's got a chair. Yeah, but when I was about to scream, that Finlay already hit the chair. But still, what an amazing match that Will Ospreay and David Finlay took. Again, I think I haven't said it in the podcast yet, but honestly, I think that David Finlay is one of the most underrated professional wrestlers on the entire world.
Easily,
Yeah, easily.
so good.
Yeah.
Um, like I love watching David Finlay. I really like how innovative his offense is with the amount of corner moves he does.
Yeah.
And him and Will Ospreay both seemingly have that ability to move, to fight like heavyweights, but move like junior heavyweights. And I would happily watch them run that back, build on that story a bit more. Really enjoyed it. So please give us more Will Ospreay and David Finlay.
Yeah.
Please. And please don't let this be the end of David Finlay's push up the card.
Yeah.
This guy is absolutely someone who you could probably put the US belt on
Uh,
if you wanted, because he can connect with the American audience.
yeah.
He's perhaps not as good a promo as Juice, but that promo at the press conference was definitely one of his best.
Yeah.
He's coming into it. He's coming into his main event era.
Amazing. Speaking of getting pushes up the card, I will
Mm-hmm.
just side rail a bit into another New Japan thing that they're doing. So New Japan, they're currently doing their tryouts for the New Japan Dojo, and
Mm-hmm.
this year, so normally every year when they do tryouts, they have they have people like we want to hear, I think 18 to 23-year-olds and above 185 centimeters for their young line tryouts. But this year, since it's a 50th anniversary, literally literally anyone can try out. Literally anyone. If you're 12 years old and want to become a pro wrestler, you can try out. Literally, they put off all the restrictions. So in the next like 3, 4, 5 years, you will definitely see more younger talent coming in New Japan. And
Oh, brilliant.
yeah, speaking of which, actually, I think Kazuchika Okada is just gonna be the I think I want to be the people that's going to be speculating the new young lions, the new aspiring
Oh,
young.
nice.
So that will
Yeah.
probably be a big thing for New Japan to get more younger people in the company. Like I think during the summers they held like a strategy presentation somewhere where I attended,
Mhm.
where Obari said we want to get more younger talent into New Japan Pro Wrestling. So they're thinking of lowering down the age of, I guess, like applying for the dojo, and it
That could be
yes,
sensible.
yeah, and getting more younger kids, because for pro wrestling, when you start at like 22, if you want to become the most youngest professional wrestlers in the whole entire world, you have those 8 years to fill that mark. So I think that's what Obari is going to get, more younger people to get into New Japan and then fill their like bucket lists of their accomplishments that they want to get. That's my take.
Ooh,
That
nice.
was my little side
Yeah.
rail there, if you don't mind.
That's cool. That's cool. I mean, think about it. If you try out for the dojo, if you try out for the Japan dojo, you're being trained by some of the absolute legends of Japanese wrestling. LA dojo, you're being trained by Katsuyori Blinking Shibata. What more could you want? Speaking of Young Lions, it was announced at Burning Spirit before we get into the post match with Ospreay that Ren Narita is coming back.
Yeah.
Baby Shibata. Um, sorry. We love you, Ren. That's not intended to be an insult, but he is basically Shibata's mini me. He wrestles like Shibata. He looks like Shibata. He's, he, I'm so excited to see where he winds up. Have no idea what his faction allegiance might be, but and also when we get onto Royal Quest, there's a couple of exciting young lion related things that might be coming up there as well. But Ren, welcome back to New Japan. Welcome to the main roster. Congratulations on completing your excursion. Now go kick ass, mate.
Ren-chan, okaeri nasai. That means welcome home in Japanese. So, okaeri nasai, Ren-chan. We miss you.
We have missed you.
Have missed you.
So the end of Burning Spirit saw a very peculiar situation
Uh,
where Tetsuya Naito challenged Will Ospreay for the IWGP United States Championship, which, if my memory serves, is the only title he needs to win. Actually, has he ever been never champ?
yeah, he has been never champ, actually. Yeah, when he
Then I
was.
think this is the only title he needs to hold to be Grand Slam champion.
Yes. Now, he will fulfill his destiny to become Grand Slam champion, where I think Naito might just become and ye Grand Slam champion Naito, the single novice. He
Yeah,
might just add Grand Slam champion in there like Jay White, but we saw Naito with a new T-shirt that says Destino on top,
I
marching to
liked that T-shirt. I
yeah.
want that T-shirt.
Oh, I want that T-shirt. It's actually a good design. Yeah. We saw
Mm.
Naito marching onto the ring, and we see him grab the mic, congratulate Ospreay. He said, "Hey, we've only fought once. Can I get another title? Can I get a title shot at that?" And then we saw what I like to call the
Heard,
solution
we
to Happy
heard.
Suki. We heard, yeah, what I like to call it as a solution to Happy Suki. Angry ZSJ screaming "Oi oi 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 oi" down the ramp, and then he was like, "Oi Naito, you lost to this bloke in the G1. Well, I lost to you in the G1, so we're even, mate. Well, how about this? In England, Royal Quest, we do a title, no, not a title. We do a number one contendership match at Royal Quest, and whoever wins gets the next championship opportunity." And then I just see Ospreay trying to get the mic, where once he actually held the mic, Naito just snatched it back, and then he was like
Yeah,
something, and
I
yeah,
find it. I found it quite funny that Naito was speaking English and Zach was speaking Japanese throughout that entire promo.
yeah, that was
Super fun, super exciting, and I this is going to be really tricky for kind of English New Japan fans because if there's a wrestler that English New Japan fans love more than Zach, it's Naito. You are going to get a very split crowd. Um, so I think it's going to be a super fun main event for Royal Quest Night 2.
Yeah, do you know what?
So,
Yeah,
Royal Quest got a card announcement, and oh boy, what a card!
what a card.
So the event is split over 2 nights. It's this weekend coming up. Um, I'm just pulling up the card now, and what's really exciting for me in particular, as Wrestling Republic's biggest Rev Pro fan, is the sheer number of Rev Pro talent that we are going to be seeing at this event. So on night one, to quickly skim read the card with highlighting a few. I'm just loading it. Is it night one or night two? Come on, load,
Load.
load. Yeah, that's night two.
Did
Um, so for night one, the night opens with a really exciting match. It's the return of Gabriel Kidd against someone who I think is absolutely also underrated in the driller, Dan Maloney, Birmingham's own. Super, super talented young heavyweight. He's kind of he's a strong contender for the Progress World Championship. He's challenged for the Rev Pro Championship. He's a multi-time tag team championship with the 0121, which is his tag team. He had a really fun match with Francesco Akira. He's a big heavyweight, knows how to move, knows how to fight. He reminds me a lot of. He wrestles like a combination of Brody King, Tomohiro Ishii, and someone like David Finlay because he's quite quick as well. He's quite agile. Um, that'll be fun. We have a women's match on night one. We have Progress Wrestling Women's World Champion Kanji, not that she's being promoted as that because this is a Rev Pro event, and the legend Jazzy Gabert against Rev Pro's undisputed British Heavyweight Women's Championship champion, the Queen Alex Windsor, recently seen on TJPW as their international champion. She's awesome, and the young prodigy Ava White. These are all people who are rumored to be involved in the IWGP Women's Championship, and in fact, Ava White and Jazzy Gabert are having a match for said in the international bracket on night two. Now, the next match on the card is something very interesting. The Legion reunite as Great O'Khan reunites with his former manager Gideon Gray to take on Rev Pro's undisputed aces, the heavyweight ace, British heavyweight champion Ricky Knight Jr., and the cruiserweight ace Michael Oku in what is going to be. I mean, it's fairly obvious that Gideon's taking the pin. Gideon has long-standing issues with Michael Oku. He really doesn't. They have a long-standing feud. We're going to see Gideon Gray take the Pelham driver and get tapped out to the half crab. It's going to be a lot of fun. But you see, this is where I have a prediction. I don't know how ready Yota Tsuji is to come back from his excursion, but Yota is currently in the Legion.
Yeah.
And I think this whole thing with Gideon Gray being in United Empire is a way to get Yota Tsuji into the United Empire.
True, to be honest, true. I don't know
And
if
I could
yeah. I don't know
go
if
ahead. Sorry.
yeah. I don't know if Yoda is still ready, but still, Yoda, like 90% would be in the Empire. Would he when he comes back from back from excursion?
Then we have a fairly standard undercard tag. We have LIJ versus Suki-gun building for night two. Dookie's in the match, so Dookie's taking the pin
Yeah.
because it's Hiromu Sanada and Naito, and then ZSJ,
Yeah.
Despy, and Dookie. So Dookie will probably get pinned.
Yep.
Tomohiro Ishii and Kazuchika Okada versus TMDK's Jonah and Bad Dude Tito. Brilliant stuff here. But obviously, the British fans love Okada and they love Ishii. Ishii having been to Rev Pro many times before. That's going to be fun. That's just there to kind of get the crowd popping as well. Then Hikuleo, Jado, Tanahashi, and Tamatonga versus Gedo, Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Jay White. The Good Brothers are going to get booed out of the building, I won't lie. I mean, the whole Bullet Club is, but British fans aren't the biggest fans of the Good Brothers. In that night's semi-main event, and this is a bit of questionable booking, but it is a dream match.
Yep.
Your IWGP Heavyweight Tag Team Champions FTR versus your New Japan Strong Openweight Tag Team Champions Aussie Open of the United Empire. That is going to be amazing.
Yes.
So excited for this match. Going to be lots of flips, lots of fists. Mark Davis is probably going to wind up chopping several people to smithereens. And Kyle Fletcher will be the only person who jumps off the top rope in this match because FTR don't do flips. And then in the other main event of the night, and this is probably the thing that's a bit disappointing. This is only disappointing for me because they have run this match so many times in Rev Pro, Will Ospreay versus Shota Umino. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm absolutely here for Shota Umino getting another shot. And it's always a good match. But I did watch this match 3 months ago for Rev Pro, and it was very good, and it was very fun. And Will Ospreay said, "Your fucking daddy's not here to save you now," and then elbowed his head off. But I have seen Rev Pro fans have seen this match before.
Yeah.
It is a bit underwhelming. I won't lie.
Yeah, I think this. I know that Ospreay's been wanting a singles match since his post match comments from
Mm.
uh Kobe, but I was thinking a better opponent than no no offense to Shota Umino. I think that he's a great wrestler, but I think that we might have wanted to see a more fresher uh maybe opponent for Will Ospreay other than Shota Umino for Royal
Mm.
Quest if he wants to fill in the main event of
The,
one of their biggest events in the UK.
the issue is that obviously Will had the British heavyweight title for so long, he basically beat everyone in Rev Pro. He's beaten the entire British heavyweight scene.
Yeah.
But if you want to see fresh British talent, Night 2 features some really exciting names.
Yes.
Opening match, Michael Oku and Robbie X versus Dookie and El Desperado. Robbie X, a very exciting, really experienced cruiserweight. Absolutely someone who is worth keeping an eye out for. If I'm New Japan, I'd really like to see this guy in the Best of the Super Juniors, purely to see how over he could get his boing chant whenever he does his jump up Hurricane Rana. Um, Super fun. And of course, Michael Oku will get the British crowd happy. You're going to enjoy. You're going to enjoy, I think, watching the Michael Oku chants because it's very fun to be a part of.
Right.
Then, in a match that I think could steal the entire weekend, arguably the best British tag team on the planet right now, the Young Guns versus Takahashi and Sanada. Ethan Allen just coming back from injury, Luke Jacobs, the Progress Cruiserweight Championship, despite the fact that he's a heavyweight because not Progress Rev Pro. That's going to be an absolute war. This is Young Guns, not Northwest Strong, so I need to make sure I get their faction because Northwest Strong is their faction. Two boys from Manchester, live in London, so they'll get booed out the building because they're always heels in London. But that's gonna be good. IWGP Women's Tournament match. Jazzy Gabert, the veteran, experienced in Stardom, tons of experience there, taking on the young prodigy Ava White, two people to definitely keep an eye on. I don't know a lot about either competitor, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Shows a lot of promise, especially when you have a veteran like Gabert who has worked in Stardom as well. So hope you all enjoy that match. Then the big. This is what we had everyone else on the tour for match. Kid, Umino, RKJ, and FTR with Gideon against Gideon Gray, Great Okan, Will Ospreay, and Aussie Open for the big. This is basically a Rev Pro match, and FTR are just vibing there. Um, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. Again, I want to say Gideon Gray or Gabriel Kidd will probably get pinned here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Almost there, almost there. Tomohiro Ishii versus Jonah. Big meaty men slapping meat.
Big
What
meaty
more could
man,
you want?
big meaty man slapping.
That's just going to be brutal. Jonah hitting the torpedo on Tomohiro Ishii is going to be impressive
Yep.
because if he goes over Ishii, then we have Okada probably beating bad dude Tito,
Yep.
and then Hikuleo, Hiroshi Tanahashi, and Tama Tonga versus Jay White and the Good Brothers. No Jado and Gedo this time.
Oh, yep.
They're interesting they put that in the semi-main over Okada, but you
Nice.
know.
Oh, yeah.
And then finally, as we've mentioned, Tetsuya Naito versus Zack Sabre Jr. for the #1 contendership to Will Ospreay's United States Heavyweight Championship. And now I have said the entire card in 10 minutes. I've seen a lot of people saying that this card looks underwhelming. I think it's going to be a very fun watch. The only thing I disagree with on the card placement is probably the night one main event, but we'll roll with that. I would have put FTR and Aussie Open as the main event, but I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Night one is sold out. Night two is nearly sold out. British fans are really excited, and we are so excited to be welcoming New Japan back to the United Kingdom here.
I'm waiting for the Zack Sabre Jr. chance. uh,
Mhm.
so
Uh,
surprisingly, they haven't had those chants in Japan. So I'm thinking of
hmm.
waiting for
Well,
that.
I mean, is Seven Nation Army really a thing in Japan? Because it comes out of the White Stripes song Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah. But if they watch British wrestling, I think the Japanese fans would start to do the Seven Nation Army, Zack
Yeah.
Sabre chants.
So some other important chants that you might want to know if you're planning to watch Royal Quest or planning to go and you don't know the kind of chants for especially if you've been watching kind of clap crowds in Japan. Um, Aussie 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 Oi 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 is Aussie Open's chant. Who else have we got that you might want to know? Um, uh, RKJ is just chant his initials to the rhythm of Okada. RKJ,
Oh,
RKJ. Um, Ricky Knight Jr. Um, Michael Oku's got two, either Michael Oku, Michael Oku, or fuck him up, Oku, fuck him up. um, which is actually what we also British fans use that chant a lot. But just insert the surname. We've had at Rev Pro, we've had fuck him up Ospreay, fuck him up, or fuck him up Zach, fuck him up, or whoever else is like laying on the beating. Yeah, obviously you've got your standard Okada, Okada, and Tanahashi, things like that.
yeah.
Um, Someone will probably get a Jay White as a wanker chant started, or
Jay
something
White is
inventive.
a wanker.
Is a wanker. But yeah, so lots of fun. British crowds are the best crowds. Any of you who watch WWE Clash at the Castle will confirm that British crowds, we have an energy that most Western crowds can't match. Um, it'll be a lot of fun. You get to what? Oh yeah, the other thing is certain. Obviously, when people go for their finishing moves, a lot of them have like things they like to do to shout. Michael Oku, when he sets up for his half crab, he normally shouts, "Now we play," which is his entrance theme as well. So you're meant to chant along with him. Um, yeah, so that's Royal Quest. As you can tell, I'm really excited for Royal Quest. Hopefully, maybe, possibly, we might be attempting to do a live react to a bit of it
Fully.
or some degree of it,
So,
but I'm not free on Saturday, sadly.
yeah, it's I feel sorry. The last time I checked, it won't be live
Mhm.
streamed on New Japan World, so I don't know if we can do that. But maybe watch along might be fun. Fun if we can do that. If we can do it,
Yeah, watch this space. Watch this space.
what's
That's
this?
because that's 2 episodes worth of content.
Yeah. Uh, so
Um,
um,
yeah.
so I have a question for you that I forgot to ask earlier. So we were talking about
Well,
Ren Narita and the other young lions. Who do you think his
Yeah.
opponent will be? Because personally, I think it's Shibata. A Wrestle Kingdom rematch. Shibata and Ren Narita.
If you think if it's Shibata, okay, I would be here for that. My, my head says they'll probably give him a match against an experienced veteran just to kind of, reintroduce. So someone like Dookie or Bushi or someone like that. My heart says feed him to Suzuki, you cowards.
Yes, yes. I want yeah,
Or Goto or someone like that.
yeah,
If
his
it depends if they're bringing him in as a heavyweight or a junior, because I think he's coming in as a heavyweight.
I think it'll be better if he comes in at a heavyweight. And also his first match to be his last match was his match with Suzuki.
Yeah, so you know what? Actually, I'm going to say Hiroki Goto.
Hiroki
I
Goto.
think Goto, just a nice, gentle welcome back match for him. No massive storyline shenanigans, just him and Goto beating each other up for a few minutes.
I'm wondering what his gimmick will be. If his gimmick will be like the good old strong style Rendery, like Shibata type person, like he did on Excursion, or will he come back with another gimmick like the
I'm
fight?
the Great Muta too.
I'm great Muta too. I'm great Muta too. Maybe wrestling ninja or some shit like that. I don't know.
Isn't that Master Wato?
Oh yeah, it is Master Wado. Oh yeah.
Okay, so that is Royal Quest.
Yes.
Okay, so that's like everything going on with New Japan, I think, like
Next
within
is
the company.
yes, Declaration of Independence. I think we still have to. More matches have
Yeah,
been
that's
added
you.
to. No, the fuck. Wait, not Declaration of Independence. Fuck. Yeah, Declaration of Power. Oh god, I get them mixed up for some reason. I don't know. I don't know. Pulling a cold. So, like we said earlier, the Who's Your Daddy match for the KOPW trophy, where it will be a regular match. So, in Western wrestling terms, an I quit match, whereas the loser will have to say, "You're my daddy," or in Japanese, "Anata wa daddy desu," which means the same thing as it's Shingo. But to be honest, I think Shingo's gonna win. Sorry, Phantasmo. The next
Yeah,
match we have confirmed. We have Kushida versus Taiji Ishimori, not for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, because surprisingly, I don't know. I don't know. I think this might be a lead up to maybe Wrestle Kingdom or Battle Autumn or some
hmm.
shows that's gonna come up in the future. Maybe Kushida might not get. So these are the two things that can happen: red pill or blue pill. Red pill. Ishimori wins. Kushida doesn't get the chance, but Ishimori's like, you had a good match. I'm gonna give you a second try at the dome. That's the red pill. Blue pill. Kushida wins. Hey, I beat you, Ishimori. I'm gonna challenge you for the belt now at the dome. Or
Yeah, no, this
yeah. Or the other one,
go on, sorry.
nothing happens. And the new challenger, which will probably be Hiromu, will will challenge Ishimori at the dome. And then we just talked about Ren Narita, and then we have semifinals, surprisingly, Tonga versus Jay White, and the main event, Kazuchika Okada versus Jonah. But actually, hey, do you mind if I talk about this for a second? About Japanese
Go,
wrestling?
go, go.
There has been a stigma in big quotation yeah, in big quote marks, where in
Hmm,
Japanese wrestling, the foreigners are the heels in wrestling, where
hmm.
you see it in the card. I'm not being like this guy that's being controversial or anything. It's just this. So, if you guys are old wrestling or are old Japanese wrestling fans, you guys may remember Antonio Inoki versus Vader. Vader, again, the foreigner heel, the man that stepped on
Hmm.
our land and took over our king, beat Antonio Inoki where the fans and Ryogoku booed the fuck out of Vader because they beat our hero, our Japanese legend. That's the thing I hate
Yeah.
about Japanese fans. As much as I love Japanese wrestling, that's the things that I hate about Japanese fans. And then you can see it inside here, where the main event, a special singles match, no, like nothing, like no, you get at a contract to Wrestle Kingdom or anything. So they put the Gaijin versus Gaijin match. By the way, I hate that word. I'm never gonna use that again. This is probably the one of the last times I'm gonna use that. Gaijin means like outside person, like an outsider. I hate that word so much, but I'm gonna use that today because for like shorter terms. But they put the Gaijin versus Gaijin match in the semifinals because they think the Japanese fans think that they're not gonna get a pop for two foreigners that they probably won't know for the main event, even if it's for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, the top prize in the company. While they have
Mm.
Kazuchika Okada versus Jonah, which Okada will definitely win. No surprise to that.
Yeah.
And then they're
Yeah.
gonna have that I'm gonna make it rain. And then the whole booking system in Japan, it's not that fucked, but to be honest, for Kenny Omega, he was beloved by the fans because he respects the culture. He can speak Japanese. He's like, oh, that guy, like Chris Brooks. He's like, oh, I'm Japanese. Oh, I'm Japanese. No, not oh, I'm Japanese. I can speak Japanese and I love the fans. But Chris Brooks, he only got around one main event spot. He only got around a few main event spots, and that was a Korakuen show with Takeshita, which he put on an amazing match, by the way. Thank you, Chris. But Japanese bookers,
Watch that match.
yes,
Watch that
watch
match. That
that.
Takeshita
Yeah.
Chris Brooks match. Hang on. Are we talking about the one from like from this August?
Uh,
Um.
I think it was after Wrestle Peter Pan. I think it was
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. 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 That one. Yeah. No, we are talking about the same one. Good.
Yes.
Watch that match. It's
What?
amazing.
Yes. So, Japanese bookers, even if the top prize is on the line, you have Tama Tonga and Jay White, one of the best wrestlers in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Tama, very pushed. Jay, he's King Switch, baby. And then they're in the semifinals? Like, what the fuck? Fucking hell. That just made me like lose my shit when I saw this card. That's the thing I
Yeah.
wanted to address today. I kept that on my mind for so long. Holy shit.
Yeah. If you've got thoughts you'd like to share about this booking philosophy, do leave them in the comments. Leave them in the comments on our Instagram. Let us know what you think because I have to say I am also the title the heavyweight title should always main event is the golden rule. The big match should always be babyface or should always be for the big title. And if you're worried about two outside wrestlers, two non-Japanese wrestlers not getting cheered, well, why did you book Ospreay and Finlay in the main event
Yeah.
for Burning Spirit?
Oh yeah, fuck. Oh yeah.
Um,
Fuck. Fuck. But to be honest with you,
yeah.
oh shit, I lost my defense. Fuck. But
No,
to
no,
be
no, no,
honest,
no, no,
my
no,
defense.
no, no. I think it strengthens your point. If you're willing to book Osprey and Finley, okay, Osprey's over.
Osprey.
Finley maybe less so, though I hope that changes.
Yeah.
If you're willing to put Osprey and Finley, why aren't you also willing to put Tama Tonga and Jay White in your main event?
Oh yeah, that's actually pretty true. That's actually pretty true.
Yeah.
But that's actually pretty true. But Osprey versus Finley, I feel like it's the overness of the people that also count. Like
Mm.
for example, Osprey, he's big, strong guy that the uh that gets a hidden blade to the elbow. Where Jay White, he's Bullet Club, and he's a he
Mm.
Tama Tonga. I think this is thank you for sneaking in there, sneaking in there. But while Tama Tonga, okay, I'll come straight clean out here. I believe that this will be one of the few times that Tama Tonga will get pushed to the main card. I feel like I feel like if they make
Mm.
if this was still 2019, I feel like he would still be an intercontinental title guy, or even a never title guy here, or maybe some other title guy. But to be honest, they booked Finley and Ospreay. That was one exception that they made because they had this I mean, to be honest, I think the Kobe show I didn't really expect much, but they actually put it out. But I feel like it was just a way
Mm.
to fill in storylines, the Kobe show, so they can get this out of
Yeah,
the
yeah.
way. So like in the Kobe show, I feel like I thought that they were gonna have like the never open weight title match in the main event because because it's that. And Finley and Osprey, Finley being to be honest, a mid carder in New Japan Pro Wrestling. I feel like they got Finley over just so that they can have this match, and then if they extend it longer, like maybe Battle Autumn in Osaka, that will work. But if they don't do it there, the only place that they have to do it is America or the Dome, and then they will probably pick America. But that's I've been rambling in my mouth for so long, but that
That's all good.
that yeah, that's probably a way to get that match uh, like away from it. But they
Yeah.
they entertained the crowd. That was good. Where obviously we talked about in the third episode, but like you said, the golden rule is to have the World Heavyweight Championship on the main event. And since that I'm confused on why, yeah, like you said, why did they book the US Heavyweight Championship was two Gaikokujin? That's a better term. That's a better term. Gaikokujin means, so Gai means outside, country mean yeah, yeah, Koka means country, where Jin means human. So he's not from this country, but it's more of a polite way to say Gaijin, which
Mm.
sounds rude to me. But they had the US title match, which is a mid card, yeah, which is like a semi-final mid card title, to be honest. They had that on the
Mm.
line. They had that on the line at Kobe, where Kobe, a big stage indeed, but so when I first went to Kobe for G130, for G1 Climax 30, I think, uh, they didn't actually, so Kobe fans are really polite. I think actually when I went there, when they did the I think when I did the World Pro Wrestling opening, I was clapping my hands up, and then the person behind me was like, "Can you please be quiet? We're trying to watch the match," and then I had to be quiet
Mm.
for the rest of the match, which is such stressful to me. Fucking hell. The Kobe, they have polite fans.
Yeah.
I think that's why they booked Finley and Ospreay there. And then in Ryogoku, normally I thought that they were gonna have the main title in the main card where they just have a G1 rematch as the main event, which is like, what the hell? No stakes, no anything. I'm like, this is something that I wanted to get off my chest. But there's some exceptions here and there when a guy is very over in Japan. Like for example, maybe Kenny Omega. If he's very over in Japan, he might get a foreigner versus foreigner match in the main event here because of his overness. But that's the thing that I wanted to get off my chest for the last few months or so.
Ah, fair enough. Well, I hope it's been useful for you to get that off your chest. Next week, next episode, and because we don't have time to discuss it today, I do want to discuss what do you think Gado and Tony Khan were discussing since Gado was in Philadelphia for last week's Dynamite, for this week's Dynamite. But that's for next week, so there's a little teaser of what's to come. But, right, since we've crossed the Atlantic, we need to talk about all the New Japan people who have been on their tours and been around the world. So, Wednesday Night Dynamite. Juice Robinson challenged John Moxley for the AEW for a title. He wanted to wrestle John Moxley, was obviously having wins over John in the G1 and their US title feud. Juice, if Juice won, he would have then had a shot at Moxley for the AEW World Championship. That didn't happen. Moxley tapped him out with a cross arm breaker. Um, but it was a quick, it wasn't like a quick match. It wasn't as long as their matches in Japan. Um, Unsurprisingly, Moxley was bleeding by the end of it. Juice looked good. Juice was able to get himself over with the fans because his facial expressions were very good.
Yeah.
It was a fairly foregone conclusion, but it was a good match.
Speaking of,
What else in AEW? Oh yes,
yeah.
last Friday. At the end of the no DQ match between New Japan Strong regular Brody King and uh, Buddy Matthews, between Darby Allin and Sting, uh, Matthews had Sting handcuffed to a chair and was about to beat him with his own bat when a mysterious set of music hit. Japanese kanji flashed up onto the screen, and the words "The Great Muta" appeared, and he came down to the ring doing his hand taunts. Chris Jericho was screaming on commentary. Um, he hit the dragon screw on Buddy Matthews. He spat poison mist in Buddy Matthews' face. Sting then did the Scorpion Death Drop for the three, but it was then announced that Sting will be involved in the final match of the Great Muta's career, Keiji Muto's career, at Final Bye Bye in Osaka-jo. It's going to be Sting.
Wait, was it also?
There's rumors that it's going to be a multi-man tag, but Sting will be there. Obviously, Keiji Muto's legendary feud with Sting over the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, both as the Great Muta and as Keiji Muto, mainly as the Great Muta, is this match that really started the feud that really started Sting's career. Do watch Sting telling his story about the Great Muta on Starcade if you can. He tells the story about how he went to Tokyo and he was going to beat He's going to beat the Great Muta in Tokyo to then get the Muta to come over and do the program. And he sort of goes into the dressing room, Muta's smoking a cigarette. And Sting and Muta goes, "You good condition?" And Sting, yeah, I'm good condition. Oh no. Um, he does this very good impression of Keiji Muto. I blow up. How long we go? Uh, the, 30 minutes, maybe 20? 30? Oh, 30 minutes. Oh no. We go 15. Okay. What are we gonna do for the finish, Muda? Moonsault.
Moonsault.
So remember, Sting was coming into this match to win. You're going over? Yes. I go over. But it's such a funny story. Because he's just sitting there smoking this cigarette this entire time, like he's holding it in the air. You good condition? Apparently, every time they did a match, he would always ask, "You good condition?"
Yeah, I can just
Yeah, go ahead.
imagine in like meet and greets. A great I think Keiji Muto with yeah, maybe meet and greets with foreign fans. He just sits there with a cigarette and then just asks the foreign fans, "You good condition? You want portrait? You want portrait?"
But yeah, congratulations to AEW on getting the Great Muta to appear. His AEW theme is available on YouTube. Not that I'm doing advertising for AEW, but it's very good theme music.
But actually, yeah.
I just remember at an AEW press conference, John Moxley was doing the press with Tony Khan, and Moxley is a massive fan of traditional Japanese wrestling. Like he takes a lot of inspiration from it. Obviously, he bases some. I know that we have some controversial opinions here on the Wrestling Republic team about whether Moxley is just trying to copy Stan Hansen, but he does the King Kong lariat. He, he does a lot of kind of he and Eddie Kingston both a lot of inspiration from Japanese. And Moxley was cutting this unscripted promo where he was like, "Look, I'm gonna do a little fantasy booking. Who do I need to talk to make this happen? We need to get Keiji Muto, we need to get the Great Muta, we need to get Sting." And Tony Khan's going like, "No, no, 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 no. Doesn't Muta work for Noah now? Oh yeah, shit. Isn't he the president of Noah or something? Yeah." And then Tony Khan's like, "You're lucky they like you so much in New Japan. They'll let you say that." Um, Also, that was the same press conference where John Moxley kind of looked into the microphone dead and said, "Eddie Kingston wants to make Jun Akiyama, wants to wrestle Jun Akiyama. How much do we need to pay to make that happen?" Um,
So wait, was that a
anyway,
uh,
that's the. Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
really want to see that. Wait, is that one of the media scrums, I think?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
I
gonna
think it's the one. It's the one where I think it's one. It's because Moxley's world champion in it, but it's when. I'll find it for you and send it to you later.
yes, thank you.
Um, um, so that's AW, but that's not the only partnership where New Japan talent have been appearing. And breathe. So Aussie Open are continuing their world tour. They appeared in Progress Wrestling at Chapter 142 Birmingham, codename Cottonmouth. They wrestled Violence is Forever, very good match. Aussie Open went over clean. That also featured CDK versus Lycos Gym in a tag match. So you might want to watch that.
Yes.
And then also the following show, Return of the Fly, it had Kid Lycos versus Chris Brooks in a no DQ match called Get It Out of Your System, where they beat each other nearly to death.
I saw that kid like Oscar unmasked there, but
Yeah. Um, then we had Aussie Open on Impact. Aussie Open beat Chris Bay and Ace Austin then they have to go on to fight the Motor City Machine Guns for the for the number one contendership for Honor No More's Tag Team Championship. Um, the Motor City Machine Guns won. Very good match. Aussie Open didn't get a lot of their signature spots in, which was a bit surprising, but obviously seeing a team who Aussie Open take a lot of inspiration from in the Motor City Machine Guns featuring obviously Alex Shelley of the Time Splitters. It was a very fun match, very nice, fairly quick. I think it's 15 minutes, so with entrances and things, so about 10-minute match. And then Yuya Uemura was also on Impact Wrestling. He's in the X division at the moment. He was in their X Division Triple Threat Revolver match, which is a gauntlet match, but it's like two gauntlet matches at once for a shot at Speedball Mike Bailey. He didn't win. He did manage to eliminate Kenny King, I think, which is a feud they're building up. So yeah, that is basically New Japan guys appearing not in New Japan, mainly Aussie Open running around like mad things because they seem to be determined to wrestle on every continent this year.
actually, a piece of news that we forgot to cover today. Juice
Mhm.
Robinson said that he will no longer be carrying the New Japan banner, correct? I think some read
Yes, he did. That is a work,
that is a word.
unfortunately.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
to work. So when he joined Bullet Club, he did an interview where he said that he had signed a contract extension that ran through to 2023.
Yeah,
So it's more of a symbol of him fully turning his back on Hontai. Because don't forget, a lot of AEW fans probably only saw Juice when he was a babyface wrestling Moxley over in Japan. So it was just to cement that he turned heel.
yeah. So it's a work, but do not worry, Wrestling Republic fans. Dry Hard Juice Robinson is still contracted to Wrestling Republic's Line of the Republic podcast. He has signed a it's see he has signed an exclusive contract with us.
Are we going to get Dry Hard Juice Robinson on the Soul Session?
Maybe yeah, we might just maybe like an April Fool's joke. I don't know. We might just get that.
Okay,
Oh,
I think that's pretty much everything we wanted to cover.
yeah.
So, all that's left to say is thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate your time today, especially dealing with us two sleepyheads. Next week, we'll have all the fallout from Royal Quest. We'll have the results. We'll have talking about what Tony Khan and Gato might be discussing Wrestle Kingdom, Wrestle Kingdom, um, Wrestle Kingdom again. And we've got all sorts of very exciting things coming up very soon. So thank you so much for watching. Do please follow us, like the video on YouTube, follow us on Instagram at Lions of the Republic WR, and follow the Wrestling Republic page.
You go check out the website, read our amazing articles sent in by many of our talented writers here at Wrestling Republic. Check out other channels, check out other series too, Soul Sessions, like we mentioned earlier. Maybe next year we might be getting Grey Hot Juice Robinson there. So we have Clark and Kobe's Republic Ramble. We have oh yeah, the People's Podcast. Yeah, the People's Podcast, go check them out. Who else do we have?
Yep.
Yeah, Ben, who else do we have? Ben, who else do we have?
Take it to the table.
Sable.
Take it to a table, which who will probably be covering anything big that happens in AEW or WWE. I don't think we've got anything else special coming up as far as we're aware. But yeah, please do give us a like, give us a follow, give us some love, because we do all of this for you. We do this for you, the fans, our fans. We love you dearly, and we appreciate every single one of you. So all
We
that's
love
left to say then is say
itch.
again.
I don't know. Actually,
Ew.
wait. See, internet lagged for some reason. Internet lagged for some reason.
Shit.
Uh, internet lag for some reason.
Ew.
Internet lag. All right, let's go. Itch.
Ew. Need
San.
some
Da.
da.